Do you have a lot of bunnies in your backyard? Well, I do. So this painting is inspired by all the bunnies that have been in my backyard, but luckily I'm not growing carrots. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Shweta. This is what we're going to be painting for today. Does this look like a fun project to you? Well, the inspiration for the project is a bunny that has a hat full of carrots and the greens that come with the carrots. So carrots are something that the rabbits like, right? That's what we think. But no, the real fact is they like the carrot tops, which are the greens, rather than the carrots. Another fun fact is the rabbit's teeth never stop growing. They sleep during the day and they're very active during the night. And the only two colors that they can actually see are green and blue. Along with painting this bunny for today, I'm also going to show you how I swatched the colors that I'm going to be using to paint this bunny. The link to the swatch cards are also going to be in the description and you can check it out. And it's going to be really valuable when you're going to be painting anything. And watch till the end of the video because I'm going to show you the results that I got from swatching the colors. So without further ado, let's get painting. So here is my inspiration. I have always loved carrots and I thought this was an appropriate painting with those carrots and carrot tops. To my surprise, the rabbits actually like the greens and do not even actually want to eat the carrots. So that was the fun fact that actually got me painting the carrots, carrot tops, and the bunny. So it's a very simple sketch where we have the face of the bunny, we have the front chest of the bunny, very minimal features, the eyes, the nostrils, the mouth. I've also created a watercolor kit with several projects, interesting ones that you may be interested in. I'm going to put the link in the description, which has all the supplies to it, and anyone can enjoy it even when they're traveling. So the colors for this painting are very minimal. I've used a sap green, I've used a Winsor orange from Winsor Newton, some Payne's gray that has already been in one of my palettes, and I'm also going to use the Davies gray. It's a beautiful light gray, almost transparent, and I decided to go with it. So before I begin this, I also want to show you how I swatch the colors. There's another video for this and I'm going to link it somewhere in the video that you can actually watch, probably the related video where you can see how I swatch cards in a more detailed fashion. I'm beginning with the Winsor orange and the Davies gray, and I'm going to lay a nice flat wash for each of them. I'm beginning with the thick wash for each of the pigments. That's going to be in the first vertical rectangle and then followed by filling in the second and the third by diluting it with water. For now, I'm going to be writing the number of the pigment followed by the brand of the pigment and finishing the washes. I'm not going to be doing some of the testing like light fastness, and because I don't have the time to actually test that, but the basic ones where I'm going to be testing the granulation, transparency and staining is what I'm looking for. This is an important tool because I'm able to use the values that I'm able to create from the orange. Just from that one orange comes the ears and the carrots in different hues. I mean, it's awesome. This way I can know how many colors or how transparent or how well it can lift is what I'm looking for. So I don't have to really worry about bringing in more colors to the palette. So it's just one orange, a bright orange, which can be almost opaque but does really well when I add the water. So don't forget to check out the results of my swatching just before I end this entire video. So let's begin with the painting right now. I'm going to lay a nice dollop of Davies gray. That's the majority of the paint in different values that's going to fill in the shape of the bunny. I'm going to be mixing it with Payne's gray for the eyes. And I'm also using Payne's gray for certain areas to darken the greens. For now, I'm beginning with a wet on wet technique for the face as well as the body. Make sure to have a little more water than you really need, because a little more water is not going to hurt you. But if you have a layer of water that is almost dry, then the paints are not going to move. So, and the other extreme is if you do add too much water, then you can just wait for the paper to soak in all that water. So you need a nice generous coat of water for the areas as you can see that I have marked. I'm taking in the lightest value of the Davies gray and I'm applying it very carefully and in a clever way that I'm not going to create a blob of the entire shape of the bunny. We're going to retain the whites as far as we can because that's what's going to create a beautiful effect. And if you have water puddling like the way I'm experiencing it right now, you can always dab it off with a little paper towel and carry on with the painting. As I'm coming closer to the chest, I'm trying to have larger, broader strokes to indicate the little fur on his front portion below his cheeks. I'm applying the same techniques, but in little smaller, narrower strokes for the sides of the face and even more narrower when I get to the nostril area and the sides of his nose and close to his eyes, basically his forehead. I've been painting for a while, but I want to caution you that you don't want to go really fast with this painting. Take your time, enjoy the process rather than be hurried about finishing the painting. We're using darker values, lighter values before the water dries. So the paper is still wet. All I'm doing is stroking the brush in all directions to create the shape of the head and differentiate it from the body. Along the way, I'm also going to mix Davies gray with a little bit of Payne's gray to create some of the darker areas, as you will see. Now comes the fun part. I love it when my painting takes shape, and you can see that I am painting the ears now. And once the ears are done, you can really see the shape of the bunny coming into reality. So take it easy and paint slowly and enjoy the process, as I keep repeating, because watercolor is all about patience, and the more patient you are, you get better results. I'm going to let these initial layers dry for a little bit before I actually add in the darker values of the same paint and create those furs on the ears as well as the body. So I've begun painting the inner ears of the bunny. I just changed the consistency of the orange, and those are the colors or the hues or the values that you can see. The consistency of the paint, when it's really thick, is going to give you the almost opaque look, and when I thin it down with water, that's what you see on the ears. So for the carrots, I'm just going to continue varying the values, adding a little bit of Payne's gray or Davies gray into the orange to create different colors for the carrots. For the carrot tops, which are the greens, I have used only one green, and that is the sap green. I'm using thin brush strokes in random order, just making lines and then filling in the greens. But I'm varying the values and adding in some of the Payne's gray, Davies gray, and also the Windsor orange to create different kinds of values with the greens. Play around with that, and then you can use the wet on dry technique for that. Now, since the painting has dried, I'm adding in the darker values again with the same colors, changing it up with adding a little bit of the blue and actually defining those areas that will create the shape of the front face of the rabbit. The strokes are simple, leaving in the white spaces and using a thinner brush. While I'm painting the eyes and the eyelashes, I want you to be patient because you want the painting to have dried. I was in a little bit of a hurry for one of those eyes, and you can see that it smudged and the colors mingled with the other wet areas. So I don't like that bleeding right now, but it's okay. I've learned to embrace my accidents on paper, and it's all good. It's all part of the painting process. So without worrying about it further, I went ahead and corrected it and moved on with the painting. So the bunny is almost done, and there are some areas that are darker than I expected, but that's absolutely fine. Now the swatching results are interesting because I realized that the granulation was at 0, so I didn't mark the granulation with a color. The transparency was good. As you can see, I'm making my little notes there, and it was staining because when I tried to lift color off the paper, I wasn't able to. So this was a great understanding for me about these colors, which I would have not expected had I not done the swatches. So though the colors sometimes look that they are going to be something that's going to be a color that way you can lift it once it's dry, in reality it may not be. So swatching actually gives you the true color of your nature, or true nature of the colors that you are painting with. So I encourage you to use swatch cards, and you can infer these before you actually paint. So I hope you enjoy this painting as much as I have enjoyed painting it and showing it to you. There was a lot of learning for beginners, I believe, with this video, because I've done this in person classes. But for now, I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for watching.